G'day everybody, welcome to another episode of Rob's Daily Commute. Coming from you Thursday morning this time, doing an AM episode as schedule's a little crazy. Had an early start in San Jose, now driving to the other end of town to do another job. But hey, that's the nature of the beast. And very thankful to be working. It's very slow right now in the Bay Area, so yeah, hat off to that. Thank you, employment. It's pretty good. I had an interesting experience this week at a job. There was an issue with the spider box. So everyone listening across the pond, a spider box is like your temp power box, I guess you guys might call it in Australia. But your temp power, generally like sort of yellow or some sort of high-vis thing, and you know they plug cords into it and shit like that. So on the big commercial jobs, there's temp power boxes all over the place, or spider boxes as we call them, and they're hooked up to what we call a baloney cord, which is like just a really thick extension cord, right? Hooks up box to box, and then you plug in your normal sort of electrical extension cords to that, right? Anyway, so I was working in an area of the job where it's the job's wrapping up, so they're trying to get everything out, and temp boxes are limited, but all the trades and all the, you know, still have all their boxes and batteries and computers and all that shit still hooked up to them, so, and lights. When you're late to the party, it's kind of hard to find a spot to plug into, right? So we ended up having to move to the other side of the job, and there was nowhere to plug in. Oh no, there was one spot which I thought, wow, fucking beauty. And of course that one kept tripping and it was faulty or some shit, so I ended up having anyway, I ended up tracking down the electrician, foreman, who's been there for years, and I was like, hey, can I, do you guys have a spare baloney cord and a temp power box? And they were sort of like, you know, like how weird sometimes electricians are. And I said, look, I know you're busy, just show me where they are and I can plug it in and I'll hook the box up, no big deal. Like you just plug it in, you twist it, you run a cord out and you plug in the next one, and then you're ready to rock and roll, right? And this person, I keep saying this person, I mean, I don't want to single anybody out, but it was, yeah, just, you know, this person. And they were kind of like nervous and like, okay, I'll come help you in a minute. And I said, look, you know, like I'm kind of in a bit of a rush, I've got guys waiting. And they were like, okay, yeah. Let me just go grab my gloves. And I was like, okay, I mean, there's a box full of fucking power cords right here and my hands are just beat to fuck. And like, fair enough, I mean, you don't want to have hands like mine, they're kind of fucked. But so I waited and they finally came back. And then we're picking through this box of baloney cords, and you know, I guess they were obviously in the box because they were missing a head, right? They either had a female head and missing the male head, or yada yada yada. And so I said to him, I was like, look, in the bottom of the box there's the head, let's just put the head on a fucking baloney cord and I'll be fine. And this person was like, oh well, you know, I don't know. And it got to a point where it became very apparent that they had no idea how to wire a fucking cord to the head of the baloney cord, like the male end and the female end. And I was kind of like, what the fuck? How are you in charge, or how are you even an electrician and you don't know how to wire the shit to the, like you don't know how to wire the head on? And I mean, to be quite frank, there was an extra way. It was pretty simple, man. You got a green, a white, a black, and a red. So all I was going to do was, I mean, I can wire normal shit, pretty simple, but I was like, you know, I'll double check. I'll take the other head off that's already in place, and then you just mimic it, right? But this fucking person just didn't know what to do, and I was shocked by it. So and then I was like, fuck man, this person's making probably $90+ an hour to not know the basic fundamentals of their job. And I actually felt bad for him. But that's what happens when you are so heavily focused on inclusion, diversity, or is it? don't know, something diversity and inclusion, or I don't know, equality. There you go, equality, diversion, and inclusion. It's like, you know, I understand that there's a very good need for it and all that stuff, but fuck, man, you need to be able to do your job. And I mean, ultimately, it's all a bunch of horse shit. It should just be whoever's the best fit for the job gets it, right? I mean, business is about making money, and in order to make money, you need to be able to do your job, or at least delegate people to do the job. And when you're putting people in a position just because they fit a certain percentage, or like it ticks a box, I mean, what the fuck, man? But I do feel bad for that individual. So it must be hard, even if they are in power, making shitloads more money than I am. But hey, whatever, right? Also on another fact, kind of shouting out to people who are unsure if they want to get into the trade or not. If anyone hears this and they've got like a kid in college, or you know, they don't know what they want to do. I was actually working with a dude who is kind of new to the union, and he used to work for Tesla here in Fremont, and he actually had a pretty important job, man. He was a like an upholster specialist dude, and like upholstery, like interior upholstery, whatever is his specialty. And I mean, he wasn't just on the production line like putting chairs in and sewing shit up. Like, he was actually going on business trips to China with you know, fabric specialists. What's it called? I'm too fucking stupid. Anyway, but they were going over to China and like meeting with people. So I mean, he had a pretty decent gig, right? With, I dare say, probably the most positive looking automotive manufacturer in the world right now. So, and he gave it up to come swing a hammer for a living. So that just goes to show you, like, the trades are actually pretty fucking good. One big thing that people forget is, yes, your hourly wage is pretty decent. Like, it's not amazing. It's not like life-altering flying around in a helicopter and private jet and shit like that. But you got to take into consideration that whatever your hourly wage is, I mean, you're going to make over $100,000 a year, provided that you're working. And then on top of that, you've got health insurance that gets deducted automatically, so you don't really think about it. And that's probably another $20,000 to $30,000 a year that you're not paying for. It's just, I mean, technically you kind of are. But when I was doing my own thing, I thought I was doing really well. And then once I sort of broke everything down after a quarter of like what I thought was a positive quarter, I was I was so slightly ahead, it was disgusting. And that, I mean, like, once you take into consideration you're paying $1,500 to $1,700 a month in health insurance for a health insurance plan that didn't even match what the union would provide, I was just like, far out. So it can definitely be done, guys. Like you know, if you want to go out there and do your own thing, 100% go do it. But just for me and my situation at that time, it didn't work. There was too much on the line. Too much on the line with a kid and wife and all that stuff, and I didn't want to have any sort of lapse in health insurance, and so I took the safe road. So, you know, your case may be different, but I definitely support anyone who goes out there and has a crack on their own, man. Go do it. But just something to think about. So yeah, good coin, especially if you're an individual that wants to become an electrician. You don't even have to be fucking talented. Oh dear. The other thing I saw this morning, which made me giggle a little bit, was highway patrol. Why do highway patrol guys on motorbikes wear those knee-length Fugmeboots like a female equestrian rider? It looks so weird. I don't know why they still do that, but I mean, I started thinking about, well, what's the purpose of it, right? Like, oh, well, maybe if it's raining and whatever, it keeps your toes dry and warm, which which is a valid point, except when it's raining, I don't see a fucking highway patrol motorbike anywhere. Have you guys ever seen a highway patrol motorbike cruising down the highway in the middle of in winter? Nah, they're all in their cars. So, I don't know, that's kind of weird. And not to mention the fact that nowadays with all the different materials and options that you've got for protective clothing and like motorcycle boots and all that crap, I mean, you don't have to have some polished up fuck me boot going up over your calf to your knee. Kind of, you're sending mixed messages there, unless that is the message that you're trying to send. But anyway, that sort of made me laugh today. So, all right, guys, that's enough rambling for the day. I'm also trying out a new mic. Oh, and I looked down, it's been rubbing against my fucking shirt, so it might be all shitty. But anyway, this is the new mic. I hope the sound's better. And I hope this airs. And if it doesn't air, it's because it's been bouncing up and down, rubbing against my shirt, and the audio's all contaminated, so apologies. But anyway, take it easy, guys. We're almost at Friday. The weekend's nearly here. And thanks for tuning in for another episode. See yous.